Hi guys, my name is Korrina, and because it's so close to Valentine's Day, I thought it'd be a lot of fun to show you some of my favorite YA couples. So in this video, I'm going to list 10 different couples that I really like to get you in the mood for Valentine's Day. So to kick things off, I wanted to share with you guys one of the most unique relationships that I've ever found. Every Day by David Levithan is a story about a character named A who wakes up in a different body every day. He'll live as that person for 24 hours, and then the next day he'll be someone completely different. One day, when A is in the body of a teenage boy, he meets a girl named Rhiannon and he quickly falls in love with her. Over the course of the book, A is constantly trying to reconnect with Rhiannon, which is obviously hard because he wakes up as a different person every day. What I really enjoyed about this love story is that it offers such an interesting perspective on what love truly is. It poses the concept of loving someone's soul, regardless of gender or appearance. So if you're looking for a love story that'll really make you think, you should definitely pick up Every Day. So next up is Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertali. And this book makes me so very happy. So this book is about a boy named Simon who has a secret email relationship with a boy from his school. He doesn't know who this boy is other than he goes by the code name Blue. So Simon and Blue write each other about all sorts of things, including things that they can't discuss with their friends and family. Both boys identify as gay and haven't come out yet. Some crazy hijinks ensue in Simon's life when another boy in his class discovers the emails and decides to blackmail him. But I want to focus on Simon and Blue for a moment here. I loved how much Simon and Blue could confide in each other, and I just absolutely adored how funny both boys were, both individually and together. And I also loved how they helped each other out in this scary and awkward part of their life. I also really adored how this story didn't end with the discovery of who Blue was. You get to kind of live in the aftermath of that discovery, and the ending of this book is a true gem. You just have to read it to understand just how much it'll make you smile. Everyone here at Team OwlCrate is absolutely obsessed with this book, and we highly recommend it. Next up are Cinder and Kai from the Lunar Chronicles. Now, there's a lot of awesome relationships throughout the whole Lunar Chronicles series, but Cinder and Kai have always been my favorite. Cinder is a cyborg mechanic, and Kai is the prince of New Beijing, where they both live. Their lives intersect one day when Kai needs his android repaired by a highly reputable mechanic who just happens to be Cinder. I just love their relationship so much. They are constantly supporting each other and building each other up to feel stronger. They never underestimate each other. And even though they end up being apart for some of the series, I still felt their love for one another underlying everything. So if you're looking for some awesome relationships, I highly recommend the entire Lunar Chronicles series. So next up is a book that is very dear to my heart, Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon. In this story, we have our main character Maggie, who has a rare disease that causes her to basically be allergic to everything, and she can't leave her house because of it. But everything changes when a family moves in next door to Maddie, and she begins watching their teenage son Ollie through her window. Ollie and Maddie begin a friendship through emails and instant messages, and everything kind of takes off from there. I can't really express why their relationship is so special to me, I just adore both of them so very much. This book is being adapted into a film that's going to come out later this year, and I'm so excited. Can we just take a moment to appreciate the casting? Well, look at those two. I can't freaking wait to watch them fall in love on the big screen. So, if you haven't read Everything Everything, do yourself a favor and pick it up so that you can fall in love with them as well. Now, I'm not going to go too much into detail with this next one because I feel like a lot of people have read this book, but I absolutely couldn't leave it out, and that is Fangirl by Rowell. As someone who also experiences a lot of anxiety, I couldn't help but relate with the main character, Kath. I saw myself in her as I read through the story, and just as she fell in love with Levi, so did I. Levi is my #1 book boyfriend and probably always will be. I just love how he helps Kath and breaks down her walls and doesn't want to change her. And the scene where they read The Outsiders together, swoon. Next up, I have Meyer and Denna from Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Coulthurst. Denna is a princess who's been betrothed to the prince of a neighboring kingdom, and once she arrives at the castle, she begins taking horseback riding lessons from the prince's sister, Meyer. What begins as an unlikely friendship slowly blooms into an unlikely romance, and I really enjoyed that there wasn't any insta-love in this one. Their relationship really took time to build, and it built from a mutual understanding and respect for one another. It felt like a very realistic relationship to me because sometimes people really do take you by surprise and you end up falling for them. It was also so refreshing to see a lesbian relationship in a fantasy novel, and I really liked that although their romance was forbidden, it wasn't forbidden because they were both female. And you guys, the tension between these two was off the charts. So if you're looking for an LGBT fantasy romance, I highly recommend this. Next up, we have Sean and Puck from the Scorpio Races by Maggie Stiefvater. So this is a really interesting story that takes place on a fictional island where every November the residents race man-eating horses that come from the ocean. Yes, you heard that correctly. Man-eating water horses. Sean is the reigning champ of the races, and Puck is the first girl to ever enter. Their relationship is a quiet one, built on mutual respect for each other. I loved how they came to really understand each other's motivations for entering the race, and I also adored how they protected each other in equal measure throughout the book. I feel like this book and these characters do not get the hype that they deserve. It was my absolute favorite read of 2016, and I highly recommend it. Next up, we have Kestrel and Aaron from the Winter's Curse trilogy by Rutkoski. Kestrel is the daughter of a prominent military general, and Aaron is a slave. One day, when Kestrel is out in the village, she comes across an auction where Aaron is being sold to the highest bidder. Kestrel feels a kinship with Aaron immediately and decides to follow her gut and buy him. They fall in love slowly throughout their time spent together in Kestrel's home, but their relationship experiences a lot of turmoil, political problems from opposing sides, and a whole bunch of secrets. If you want a fascinating and intelligent, slow-burning romance with great writing, this is the series for you. So next up, I'm going to talk about Simon and Baz from Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. This is a classic enemies to lovers relationship between Simon, the chosen one, and Baz, who's a vampire. The boys have been roommates at Watford School of Magic for years and have always been on the verge of killing one another. But something happens during their final year of school that changes everything. This story is so funny, endearing, and cute, and I just adore Baz and Simon together. So if you're looking for a fun LGBT book, definitely pick this one up. And last but not least, I have Blue and Gansey from The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. Blue has been told her entire life that if she kisses her true love, he'll die. Now, this never really bothered her until she became friends with the Raven Boys, and especially their leader, Gansey. The quiet tension in Blue and Gansey's relationship slowly builds over the course of the series. You want them to get together so badly, but you also know that it could put Gansey in real danger. I found their relationship to be so heartbreaking, beautiful, and real. There's another set of characters in this book that fall in love quietly in the background, and they are my true OTP. To tell you too much about it would be a disservice to you. All I can say is that this is a truly amazing series and that you should give it a try. So, those are my top 10 favorite couples. I hope you had as much fun as I did. I'd love to hear about your favorite couples in books, or your book boyfriend or girlfriend. Have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Happy reading, and thanks for being awesome.